My dad's like, bro, I'm paying for the school, you know, I'm paying $3K a semester, whatever it was for the school. You have no idea what you want to do. Like, figure it out. What are you going to do? And I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to drop out. What's up, YouTube? I've been seeing a lot of comments on asking, yo, Ethan, what do you do, bro? Like, where are you from? Who are you, bro? Like, what do you do? And today, we're gonna get into my story. Out of high school, I signed to a school in Boston to play D3 basketball. I went there, it was trash. Shit was trash. I was like, fuck this. Left after 6 months, came back to Miami. After I came back to Miami, I took like 6 months to just like train, and then I was trying to play professional in France because I'm French. So like national players, it's easier for them to play in their national team. Like if you're an American player, it's a lot harder for you to play for France than for a French player it would be. So I went to France, killed it at the tryout, but you know, with basketball, there's a lot of politics, so they were like, you know, we can't take you. So then when I came back to Miami, you know, my dad was like, listen, Mom and I are moving back to France. You have to figure it out. You know, like, I get it. You love basketball, but you know, you need to make some money. I was like, fuck, like, okay. So everything got real super quick. So as soon as things got real, I went to Miami-Dade. I studied, I studied biology. I wanted to be like an orthodontist, which I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. But so I first started with biology, then I went to business, then I went to marketing, then I went to sports management in the span of 2 semesters. My dad's like, bro, I'm paying for the school. I'm paying $3K a semester, whatever it was for the school. You have no idea what you want to do. Like, figure it out. What are you going to do? And I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to drop out and I'm going to pick up on something. And as soon as I dropped out, I mean, I've done every job, bro. I was a bartender, I was a server, I was a busboy, I worked in the mall, I worked in a bathing suit store. I've done everything. And then I was like, you know, fuck this. I went into personal training. I was like, you know, I like the gym. Like, I think I can train some clients. I can make some money. Like, let's try it out. Got my personal training certificate, started working at Equinox. At Equinox, I'm not joking, I was making like $1,700 a month, and I was working like 10-hour days as a tier 1 trainer at Equinox. And that was hell. I told myself, I was like, no way. I did this for literally 6 months, quit. Then I became a stretch practitioner in this place called Stretch Zone in South Beach. I had to go every day, an hour drive for about 7 days to learn how to stretch a person for like physical therapy. So I did that. Stretch Zone was paying me well. It was paying me like $2,500 a month. So, you know, at the time my rent was $1,000. My Tesla was $800 or $700. So my bills were like $1,800, $1,900, but I was making like $2,500. So I was okay, but I wasn't content. I was working all day just for $2,500. So I knew it wasn't right. Then I quit Stretch Zone and I took on my own clients. That's when my life kind of shifted a little bit. So when I took on my own clients, I started making like $5 to $6K a month. And that was a shit ton of money for me at the time. Mind you, my rent at that point was $1,500 a month. My Tesla was $700, whatever, $700 or $800. So I was like doing pretty well for myself. I was doing that for 3 years. And then one day I'm like, fuck, like I hate how I have to show up to train my clients. I hate how every month I have to find a new client if someone drops, or I hated that. I hated having to show up every morning to do a client if I wanted to make $50. And there's such a cap on what you can make, because as a trainer, think about it. Let's say you train 10 clients a day, which is so draining. At $50, $500. You know, like unless you charge $100, but then you have to be a more experienced trainer. Like, it was not worth it for me. I was putting in 8 hours a day, you know, and again, I was super thankful for all the clients that I had, but it wasn't what I was imagining for myself financially. And then I was like, you know what, let me try online training. Online training was such a mess. I was doing it for like 8 months. I barely made any money. I probably was making like $1,000 a month. And mind you, I was like cutting down my personal training clients. So I was making a lot less, but my bills were also just as high. So now I'm dipping into my savings every month so that I can pay my rent and I can pay my car and my food and whatever it may be. And then one day, you know, I was like, I need to do OF. I always wanted to do OF for years, since 2020, since COVID. I wanted to do OF, but I just didn't have the balls to do it. I was like, you know, all these people are gonna judge me. All these people are gonna see. I don't want them to see that. Like, I was just like, fuck, like this is not it. I don't wanna do that. And then it took me like 3 years to really like be like, you know what, I'm gonna send it. And then I'm like, I don't know where to start. I had a friend of mine help me completely at the beginning, completely helped me with everything at the beginning. And he's just like directing me like, okay, you're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to do Twitter. You're gonna gonna have to do Instagram, you're gonna have to do TikTok, And I was like, I didn't want to do Instagram and TikTok because I didn't want people to find it. So I was like, I told him, I was like, I don't want people to find it. What should we do? He's like, let's just do Twitter for now. And I was like, all right, cool. Boom, we do Twitter. I'm not paying too much attention to the marketing. I'm paying more attention of like to what's coming in and like building a relationship with the subscribers. And boom, I'm getting subscribers after subscribers. So I was getting like an email, and every time I would hear the little ding, the email emoji and the email sound, I would know it's a sub. So I would know it was money. And then I'm on the messages, talking to everybody, selling people, this, that. Next thing you know, my first month I made 10K. And for me, 10K at the time was insane. My goal was to make 5K a month online. That was always my goal. How can I make 5K a month online so I can travel, do this, do that? And then when I made 10K my first month, I was like, oh shit, like this is real. Like I need to really lock in and focus full time on this. Then second month comes around, 11K. Third month, 17K. And I'm like, okay. So then my best friend and I, we moved to Orlando together, and we're like, yo, let's lock in, let's just run it up and then come back to Miami when we have some money and we can actually rent a decent place. Cool. Moved to Orlando, started making 30K a month for like the whole 8 months that we were in Orlando. My rent was $1,500. I still had my Tesla, which was $700. I was killing it. I was saving so much money. I save everything. You guys might see the cars and the watches and this and that. Trust me, if I got that car, if I got those watches, I can afford it 10 times. So like, that's the only reason why I get those things, is I really make sure that my money's on point, that I'm saving, I'm investing, because at the end of the day, you know, OF isn't forever. So you just gotta take that money, invest it in the right places, and you'll be set forever. After 8 months of living in Orlando, my best friend and I, we moved back to Miami. I went to a 1-bedroom, he went to a 1-bedroom, beautiful apartment in Edgewater. It was called Icon Bay. Beautiful 1-bedroom apartment on the water, 40th floor, beautiful. I was paying like $3,600 a month. Boom, I come back to Miami. I'm still grinding on OF. I'm grinding. I start incorporating Instagram. Boom, I blow up. I was making 30K a month for the last 8 months, and then boom, all of a sudden, 87K. When I started doing Instagram and TikTok, that's when those earnings went from 87 to 150, 180, 200, 230. And then I was averaging around 180 to 200 for like a year, you know, so I was really doing this shit right. I was grinding, you know, I was building a great relationship with all my fans, making sure that everyone's content, everything's good. I was posting 3-4 reels a day on like 5 different Instagram accounts, 2 different TikTok accounts, 1 big Twitter account. So my marketing was on point. I mean, it still is. It is on point. And mind you, I've saved almost 80% of that money. Of course, I had to pay my taxes, but everything that I haven't paid in taxes is all saved. So I invest in real estate now. I do hard money lending, you know, so like it opens doors for you. You know, I didn't come into this wanting to be the best OF guy on OF. Like that wasn't my goal. My goal was to make 10K a month. 10K would have been unreal. And then, you know, it just proves to you that there is no limit to how much you can make on this app. It all comes down to how much work you put in. And people are asking, you know, why you make so much money? Why do you need to do this anyways? No. You're right. I've made my money on that platform and I'm super thankful for it. And again, I had built a great relationship with a lot of my subscribers, but now I want to help dudes that were in the same position as me to now become financially free. You know, like nothing feels better than being able to send your parents $10,000 or being able to pay for their rent every month or being able to get them a car if they want to. Like there's no better feeling than that. So, you know, and this is not just about money, it's about taking care of the people around you. You know, I take care of a lot of my friends, you know, a lot of people don't even pay for dinner when they come out with me. Like, it's just nice to do good things, especially. So bro, if you're a decent looking dude and you're struggling financially and you find yourself in the same shoes that I was in 3 years ago and you wanna make some money, DM me the word hidden and let's start on your journey today. Guys, thank you so much for watching this YouTube video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment.